Alright, you guys. Final Destination 2 takes place exactly 1 year after the 180 disaster, and a college student named Kimberly. Now we have a girl who has a premonition as well, while on a highway with her friends, just going randomly about, gets into this big car pileup, okay, and kills almost everybody, or it has killed everybody. But of course, again, she freaks out, and stops not only her, but almost half the cars behind them because she basically just blocks traffic and basically saved the lives of almost everybody on the on-ramp, if you will. And the accident happens, and of course, she gets looked at like she's insane. I know, similar plot, similar things, right? Yeah, it's kind of that way for all 5 movies, but it's simple enough, and it's good enough for me, because it makes my review a whole lot easier. So, after that, they get interviewed one by one, and, you know, they just look at her like she's crazy. Thus, we start Final Destination 2. And now, Final Destination 2 also sees the return in Larter, the only remaining survivor from the first film, as Clear Rivers. And she's basically the lead character in this movie, even though Kimberly is the one that had the premonition. But somehow Larter comes in and just instantly becomes the star of the film. This one is probably the second weakest. I would say the first weakest, but I think the Final Destination takes that cake now. But at first, this was the weakest in the franchise. I mean, the deaths was just over the top. I mean, your head getting crushed in an elevator door. I mean, to the point to where it falls off. Maybe that happens. I know it would happen if it like the elevator goes up. Then yeah, but if it's just I don't know. The ladder coming inches for this dude's eye, then crashes it right through his eye. Question: the ladder comes and impales you in your eye, right? And you're straight to the floor, so it will stop as soon as it hits your eye and hits the floor, right? How the fuck was it still going down to his face? If y'all noticed that, but I did. If y'all didn't notice that, but I did. So if y'all did notice that, let me know, because that was just weird. It should have stopped. Like, if it was right here, then it hits him in his face, it should have stopped just like that. But no, it kept kicking into his face. You can't really see it much because it cut after that. But I noticed that. It took several rewinds to notice that. That was kind of weird, okay? And the elaborate setup to where the whole, like, the fire is just following you around your apartment, and probably the best scene in that movie is when the teenage boy got crushed by that falling glass. That was probably it. Oh, was that Final Destination 2 as well? Yeah, it was. Where the explosion happened and those bar wires came and sliced that dude in half, in pieces. That was cool. Those were the only 2 cool death scenes in this movie, okay? The rest of this movie was just not that good. Now, the first movie was directed by James Wan. This one is directed by David R. Ellis. And oh boy, David R. Ellis can't direct to save his ass. And I hope he doesn't come back. But yet, he did come back. For which one? The Final Destination. So yeah. And the acting was not great at all. Only Larter, of course. She's the only main star in this movie. Everybody else is somewhat unknown actors. So, you know, their acting is not great at all. And it pains me, because Final Destination 1 is the second best favorite now, because Final Destination 5 is the favorite one now. But they went and they did this, and I'm just sitting there like, why? What happened in production? Why didn't y'all just couldn't get James Wan? What was he doing in 2003? Nothing to my knowledge. I don't remember a James Wan direct movie coming out in 2003. But anyway, Final Destination 2 gets a C-. It was an okay, not an okay film. It was a meh film. Definitely not the best in the series, but it hasn't gotten worse yet. Nope, that's still 2 more videos away. But yeah, now we're gonna get on to my third favorite, which is Final Destination 3. So I'll see y'all in a few hours.